And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luke O'Blaze on The Metal Experience.
Woo! All right. Oh, God. That was terrible. That was Locked Inside by Bullet to the Heart. Check out their music video on the band's YouTube page. Do you have a music video for that song?
Obviously, that's why I wrote it for you.
Okay. And then we heard Our Way by Sound of Fire. And the band will be playing with Fool's Brew, Two Ton Anvil, and The Fallen Few at Cairo Ale House this Saturday, thanks to Midwest Music Support. 21 and up, starts at 7. Morgan tells me it's just $10.
And that is Paulie B in Sound of Fire, our writer, and also from The Darksiders.
Oh, cool.
They recorded with Imprint Recordings.
Imprint?
Imprint.
Fuck yeah. Well, anyway, I'm Luke O'Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Sitting next to me is Charlie the Chuckle Factory. That's you.
That's me?
That's me. And tonight,
Chuckle, damn it.
Tonight we have on with us for the first time, Proudest Angel. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and what you do in the band?
I'm Ryan Riley. I do everything in the band. I don't just play bass, but I manage this damn band. I get them. I'm the band mom. Go on, everyone else.
Started this out very hostile.
Very hostile. I like where this is going.
So I'm Dr. Payman. I sing in the band, and since John's not here because he has a excuse, he plays guitar, so he won't be talking today. But just imagine that you have somebody here just making odd sounds. And,
did you say Dr. Payment?
I did not!
Dr. Payment?
We were so close. God damn it. P-A-I-M-O-N. Payment. Jesus fucking Christ.
Where's that come from?
Your mother. Gail's a wonderful woman. She's a very nice lady. But man, does she say some strange things. Let me tell you about this horse thing later. And then over to my right, what do we have here?
What
David,
do we have here?
What do we have?
I don't even know anymore at this point.
Stage right.
To podcast right.
David Bates, and I play drums for the Proudest Angel.
Maybe not anymore?
So, Doc, you're the vocalist?
I am the vocalist. I also drink on stage. I forget lyrics.
Even though he wrote them all.
Yes. I misquote prices for merchandise.
Constantly.
Yeah.
During your set?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a,
we
it's a
we
good
lose a
time.
lot of money that way.
I also give deals that aren't deals to drunk women in Braidwood. I sold one woman. Yeah, one woman. It was the shirts were $10, and I said, but I'll give you 2 for $20, and she gave me 30, and I said, you gave me 20, and she goes, but I want the deal, so I said okay, and she walked away with 2 shirts for $30.
Nice.
Yeah,
So he made,
but I said they were $8 on stage.
How is 2 shirts for $20 a deal?
It wasn't. That's the point.
He had a lot of whiskey that night too.
I had been drinking because we got to the bar. You know what? It's not important.
wow.
This is the first band to throw me for a loop where I just really don't know how to recover from that. I'm like trying to do the math in my head going, but she
It's
gave,
just gonna
you
go
said she
farther
gave you
downhill from
20.
here.
So
I
you
said
lied
it
to
was
her,
2
took
for
her
20
money.
because they were $10
But she
each.
gave you-
She gave me 30 and insisted that she wanted the sale, so I took her money. Like her son was holding her up during the transaction.
What do you mean?
It was she was so drunk she couldn't stand.
Oh.
Top Fuel Saloon is a fun place.
So you took advantage of this poor woman.
I tried to give her the $10 back that she didn't know me.
Oh,
but
so
she
now we're
wouldn't
blaming
take
the
it.
victim.
I
So
am.
wait, you didn't throw in something extra to sweeten it for her?
I offered her a CD.
That's not
She
what
took
I
a
meant.
pin. I mean, I'll be honest. At this point, I wanted to pack up and go home. So
You offered her a seat. She's like, no, I only want what's in the package.
I don't like your music.
What's in the box?
Dayglow T-shirts, lady.
Well,
I want a CD. Well, I'll take that little pin though.
Yeah.
you sure have started it off with a bang here. So let's get into more in depth of what makes Proudest Angel proud.
We don't have any of that. So.
Good sandwich.
So how long have you guys How long have you guys been a band and how did you meet each other?
Next year, believe it or not, is the 20th anniversary of this
It is.
shit show.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, there was like, I don't know, 16 years in the middle or something.
No, it was about.
A decade.
I want to say it. No, it was about 5 or 6.
It was longer than 5 or 6 years. It was a lot longer than 5 or 6 years. It was a solid decade. You just don't want everybody to know that you're an old man.
I know that too.
You don't look like you're 20 years old. What are you talking about?
How long was it? Like when did?
God,
'cause
even
I was
people-
You
I
know
was not
anything
in.
about any band? You've
Well,
ever
I
been in?
wasn't in the band because
Oh, yeah,
I quit the shit show
Yeah.
at the time and I left.
You quit?
I quit.
You quit the band.
It's
I
it's-
walked out.
Is
It's
that what we're going
it's
with?
an open question.
You walked away
Anyway,
on your own?
we got
Oh, yeah.
back together because Dave thought that there's no way that I would talk to our guitarist John because things had ended poorly. You know, as they do when you're in your 20s and an idiot.
I
And,
believe it was a middle finger on stage and then followed up with a punch.
that didn't happen on stage. But
Okay.
the point is that I was like, yeah, if you want to put something together, I'll jam. But our bassist had moved to Florida. So Dave got a hold of John. John was interested. So we called Ryan. I almost pointed to him, but we're on the
You did point to him.
podcasts. Okay.
Maybe he wants you to point at him.
Yeah.
Making me
So
feel
I
extra
called
special.
this one over here.
Well, the reality is
And,
Ryan was the catalyst
For
the
you
whole
for you
thing.
listeners at home who can't see this, I just goosed Ryan. But so I called
And
Ryan.
for those listeners at home who don't know what that means, there was a thumb in a butthole.
But no, Ryan.
Everyone knew what it meant.
See, but Ryan was actually the catalyst for the whole.
Oh, was he the one who set this up?
I'm actually this band's biggest fan.
He used to be our roadie.
You
like
need
way,
a fan. You keep
We don't. He was our only fan, and now he's in the band, so now we have no fans.
Which is okay because I just show up to drink and play music.
I'm essentially
But,
Marky Mark from the movie Rockstar.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude. So you stand up and shout?
That's right.
He stands up and goes, feel it a lot. I don't know why.
He
But
says feel it a lot.
feel it. Yeah, he does that a lot. And when he does it, he gets wet.
What-
Like he's just moist constantly.
Oh, he is. It's
Like,
like, a
it's-
frog.
like,
What
you can't
motion
see
are you
him
doing
right
on
now.
stage when you say this?
Oh, you don't ask that question.
Don't no.
This is how people
But,
get on
Is
registries.
this podcast in HD? Can you feel the sweat?
right now, I just want everybody to know that Ryan's wife brought him a sweat rag. He's still sweating through a Dayglow green T-shirt, and he's glistening. He looks somewhat like a frog.
I didn't know the subterranean regions of a place could be this warm.
Like you could literally feel the moisture through the.
This is an
the-
old
So
bomb
anyway,
shelter.
to answer your question,
No joke.
So yeah, going
we
back.
finally got together. We jammed. There was like 6 or 7 inches of snow the night that we got together. We played some of the old songs. Then we wrote a new song, which ended up being Starlight, which is on the Bad Decisions album, Soundtrack to Your Next Bad Decision. God, it's a long title. Why am I such an asshole?
You came up with it.
I know. That's why I said. And that is part of the medley that is Shamelight, which I believe you guys will be putting out or playing at some point somewhere. If not, it's available, so you can find it. Ryan will put it up on YouTube tonight.
As a PS to that story, like Ryan always kept constantly. Mostly, it was more aimed at me. It was like, so when's Proudest Angel getting back together? I'm like, it is never gonna fucking happen. Not in this lifetime. Not in the next lifetime. It's not gonna fucking happen.
It was 2 years ago, so it can show that some people can grow
It
up.
can. And then I think I mentioned it to you, and you were like, yeah, I'm interested. I'm like, shit. And at that point, I was the only one I think who was talking to John at that point. So I mentioned it to him, and I was expecting a resounding no, and he's like, yeah, I'm down to jam. So
Yeah, like I never answer my phone, but when Dave called me after that conversation, I knew it was worth picking up. And Dave's like, "You're not going to believe what happened."
they both said yes. I don't know what to fucking say right now.
So me and Bill drove to this first jam session together, stuck in the weather and driving for 90 minutes. And the whole time we're just like, this isn't going to work. This is going to suck. We're going to walk into this room. You two are probably going to get into a fight, tell each other to fuck off, and then I'm going to drag my bass back home. My bass that I bought just for this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even have a bass.
Ryan's not a bassist, he's a guitarist. He's not so much a guitarist as a stripper. But, you know, the point is, the bass is nice because there's fewer strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's less confusing.
And here we are 2 years later now.
All right. So
What was the question?
Where are we?
I
how did we-
totally forgot.
I thought the question was, how did we get together?
Yeah.
But that got into more of how you.
Got back together.
Oh,
Yeah.
how'd we get together originally?
Yes.
Christ, that was a long time ago. So there's this
Oh, there's
giant
more.
named Alan Gerling who's a convicted felon now. He's a really nice guy, though, I swear. And he's this giant Swedish guy.
This
and
is a real story?
Yeah.
This is absolutely
And
true.
I went to high school with
Once
him.
you're on the inside, it changes you.
Yeah. Whew, man. Anyway, I went to high school with Alan, and we started a band, and somehow Alan knew John. I think it's because John used to hang out outside of the Walgreens at the Harlem and Irving Plaza.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was
and
always
I guess
smoking.
John and Dave knew each other somehow, so when we were looking for a drummer, we ended up with
me and-
this creature.
Well, me and John
And-
were jamming for like 4 or 5 years prior to that, and like he hit me up out of the blue and was like, "You want to try out for this band?" And that I'm like, "All right, cool. Like I'll try out for the band." I get there and they start playing all the songs that me and him wrote, and I'm just like, "Oh, so that's what happened."
I know these.
I know these songs, and Bill was astounded that I was able to just pick these up so quick. I'm like, "Yeah, because we wrote them
This
four."
drummer's amazing.
It's like, because we wrote it 4 or 5 fucking years ago.
And then after Dave left, we had a wonderful drummer named Orlando Varilla, who's now living out in Vegas with his wife and kids.
3 feet of drumming precision.
Oh, man, this guy was fast and tiny. It was wonderful. So, hi, Orlando. I'm sure you're pissed off, and I'm going to get hate mail.
Transport was easy because you could fit him inside the bass drum.
No, this guy,
Like the glove
no,
compartment.
This guy had a tiny little, I don't know what it was. It was some kind of Nissan sports car that looked like it seated about 3/4 of a person. And he somehow fit an entire double kit with all the stands and the cymbals and him. But he was the only person who could do it. It must have been a TARDIS. It was bigger on the inside. It was insane.
And then we broke up, or you guys broke up.
Yeah, then-
like
yeah.
after, what was it, 2004 or 2005?
2005.
Was it 2005? Okay, so.
So, yeah.
If there's any November's Doom fans out there in the world, one of their members used to be in the band.
Oh, yeah, Vito was in the band for 3 weeks.
For like a hot minute, Vito Marchese, November's Doom was in Proudest Angel, and I think he only did about 2 shows with us, and that was it.
It was 1 show. It was not 2 shows.
And
It
a
was
photo
a
shoot.
show.
And a photo shoot.
A
photo
show
shoot.
and a photo
Within
shoot.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
was a
lot.
Yeah. It was because we already had one scheduled. and
Listen
he
to
was,
him. His perception of time.
And it's
is
like a
terrible.
super scary metal photo shoot in a graveyard.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was. It was so
in Rose Hill
nice.
Cemetery.
Yeah, and he was on a couple of the tracks that I recorded with Proudest Angel. He did rhythm, and that was about
you're
it.
right. You're right.
Because he was in Charles Bronson, fuck you.
Ha!
That's
God,
what
that was the worst studio ever.
It was terrible.
Plutone?
I think it was called Plutone
It
Studios.
was Plutone Studio, and they had a bunch of
You had
a
like
bunch
this-
of
like this-
albums up from the band Charles Bronson, which was like this awful hardcore punk band from Chicago that I guess had recorded a bunch of albums there. So they had them all up on the wall, and I was the entire time that I was recording vocal tracks staring at several different photographs of Charles Bronson glaring. And I started improvising lyrics about Charles Bronson, which was not the best use of time or money.
No, it wasn't. But then when we did the gang vocals, like we did the Charles Bronson, fuck you. That was for during Chaos.
Where's that secret track at?
God, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Well, the music you guys brought with us tonight, when was this all recorded?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay. And you guys brought 11 tracks, right, Morgan?
No, we have.
Oh.
Some
okay.
of it's more
9.
recent because
9
we
tracks.
record everything while we're practicing because, the guy who said that he does everything does actually kind of do everything.
Obsessive
and has
archivist.
like a complete
I know the
mic
feeling.
set up in his basement. So he does record everything, even the mistakes.
So like that album is a combination of old and new. There was songs the band had from the past that never got recorded, so some of those got on there, like Anathema. Civilly Feral is a
New song.
a redo of an old song.
Eh.
And then there's a mixture of new material on there as well as a fairly popular in our small circle Lady Gaga cover.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Really?
I like it rough. Fun side story. My wife and I and Ryan road tripped out to Columbus,
I don't
Ohio.
want to know where this is going.
Yeah.
I
because
do.
we couldn't get tickets to see Lady Gaga in Chicago, so we road tripped out to Columbus, Ohio, where I had some friends
Fanboys,
crashed on
yeah.
their couch and saw Lady Gaga and the Scissor Sisters, and everybody thought that my wife was our daughter.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Was this on the Monster Ball tour?
This is a story I've heard this for the first
I
time.
actually managed to offend a feminist before I even sat on her couch just walking through the door. I can't remember what I said. But
Well, you were pretty drunk.
Spoilers. This happens a lot.
So what
So-
track do you want to introduce the Metal Experience listeners to for the
Oh,
first
shit.
track of the night?
Shut up. We're going to play Shoulda Known Better.
Okay. I should have known better not to play this track first.
I told
No.
Ryan to shut up, and I pointed at him. And I want this track to be played because Ryan did a really cool animated video for it because, again, he does everything.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, on Proudest Angel. You'll find it if you care.
Well, here we go. Should have known better. The first track that we're playing off of Proudest Angel's CD, Bad Decision.
Whiskey. There's a girl who ain't half 50. No, the fun's no
And now, back to the metal experience.
Did you say hookers and blow?
No, I said the metal experience.
That's not nearly as good.
All right, we are back. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, Chuckling Charlie, and the Chuckle Factory. You need more chuckling there, sir.
Come on,
And
Ron.
Laugh, monkey, laugh.
Laugh, motherfucker.
that was a bad decision called Shoulda Known Better.
Yeah.
That was Proudest
was.
Angel, the first track that we've played tonight from the band.
Sweet. So,
Tell us if you remember what this song is about.
oh, it's about getting too old to get in fights because now it's a bad idea.
So Bill, Bill's songwriting has gone through stages. As an angsty child,
Yeah.
it was all
I love this explanation.
it,
It's great.
it was all about religion and big words to prove how smart he was.
Yes.
What's the biggest word he uses in a song?
Well, he mispronounces anathema, and
I was 16 when I wrote that song. And also, there might have been cocaine
Anathema.
involved.
in Whole Again in the third verse, who's the writer that you quote?
Whole again. I don't quote a writer in
Yeah,
Whole again.
the one we're talking about, the summoning of the business.
What are you talking
You know
about?
what I'm saying? What? Say the first line of the third verse.
I remember the first time I read, and then it's the name of a book.
Yeah, what's it called?
Liber Elvel Legis.
Yeah, that's-
Again, 16 years old.
And that was the first time he read it.
So then Bill got into college, and then he started reading more political stuff. So then he started, talking about like the man versus government,
Right.
and overthrowing the patriarchy, and then he moved on
no.
from there to more whiskey infused. Let me show you how smart of a drinker I am.
Right.
And then now he's coming to grips with this like
Old age.
pre-midlife crisis.
Man, a
where
head
he-
injury had put me out of fucking business.
where he realizes how old he is.
Is that why he did the Lady Gaga cover idea?
Oh, the Lady Gaga cover is just fun.
It's just because we like Lady Gaga.
I have always been a believer that covers that are appropriate, that are within genre, that are from bands that sound in any way, shape, or form like your band are a terrible idea. I don't ever want to hear a metal band cover Iron Maiden, because if I wanted to hear a metal version of an Iron Maiden song, I'd listen to Iron Maiden. What I want to hear is a metal band play Britney Spears, or, like I was a huge fan of Type O Negative, and anytime you went to see them, you had no idea what they were going to play. You'd show up and they'd play Magical Mystery Tour for 15 solid minutes, and sometimes it'd work, sometimes it wouldn't, but it was fun, it was interesting, it was not just another version of a song that sounded like the band you already came to see.
Which is probably the inspiration for our latest project. The band is attempting to moonlight as a cover band.
What are the other covers that you have in store?
So we're actually playing the Cubby Bear this Saturday.
Unless you're listening to this in August, then we
Yeah.
played it last month.
Yeah, we're playing
you
it
missed it.
July 28th, and we got booked to do the show because we did well at when we headlined House of Blues. So we're doing the show, and it's the day before the Foo Fighters are playing at Wrigley Field. So the promoter got this bright idea that it should be the Embrace the Foo theme, and everybody does 2 Foo Fighters covers.
Nice.
And because we're
An
Awesome.
because we're people who are very easy to deal with and work with and always take direction well, we picked 2 songs, one of which was a Nirvana song, but which Dave will tell you counts because it was on a Foo Fighters live album, Marigold.
It was.
And the other one is a song that's virtually impossible to find because it was on the soundtrack for the Orange County movie called The One. So we're doing those 2 songs.
Deep cuts.
Yeah, which no one will recognize, which is a good time.
Hits and dusties.
Yeah, what are some of the other covers?
Well, like everybody's doing, like I from what I saw, like everybody they're doing Everlong.
Yeah,
and,
Everyone's doing Monkey Wrench.
Wrench.
There's going to be 8 versions of Monkey Wrench.
And
right?
it's- So we just
I actually
the
think I
typical
might
ones.
introduce The One as Monkey Wrench and just see if anyone notices. So what else? We're also doing Wicked Game at the show. We're doing
We
Jesus.
do a
Mad World.
We do a Doom turned like punk or Doom turned hard rock version of I think you just said it already. The One I Love.
The One I Love, but we don't have The One I Love in the set on the 28th.
It's just it's amongst the Devil's Jukebox selection.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or maybe we are. We don't want to give away,
it's just a fun
chicken with the
yeah.
farm.
The idea is to what the
That's a
fuck
saying.
are you
Well,
talking?
So-
Well, he did also ask what covers we do.
Right.
Yeah. I'm answering the question.
There's an Offspring cover.
did
The Kids Aren't All Right.
Nice.
Nice.
We're going to start working on a really fun cover because I'm going to try to pick a fight with a Chicago band by subtly changing one of their songs. So that'll be something to keep an eye out for. It'll
Ooh.
pop up on YouTube soon.
What band and song is that?
Yeah, I know, right?
What other fucking songs?
Bill's going to try to pick a fight with Rise Against.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Nice.
trying to think, what other fucking songs do we cover?
Rise Against is going to be there?
No, Rise
Oh.
Against is not going to be there.
No, they're
I mean, they might meet us in an alley at some point to fight Bill.
Well,
It might
At
not just
one
be a
point.
fight.
That's how we're going to get famous, by picking a fight with a popular band.
I like it.
I just enjoy being an asshole.
so
I have
how,
to be nice at work, Dan.
how did you come up with the name Proudest Angel?
Oh, it's
Oh,
a
well,
devil.
Bill was
because
an
I was
a-
16.
that's pretty much it.
But Bill, answer it as if you were your 16-year-old self.
Oh, because like it's a really sideways way of I don't know. It's fucked up. What do you want? I spent a lot of time listening to dark music and expanding my mind, as the hippies like to say.
I mean, really, we didn't even have any other options for names, did we?
No, there were literally nobody else. Oh no, there was.
No, Pain Refinery.
Pain Refinery. Our bass player,
Alan Gerling.
Our bass player was really heavily into Fear Factory.
And Soup.
So Fear Factory. So his idea was Pain Refinery, and we all sort of sat there, nodded, and we're like, no, let's think of something else. And Bill
literally anything else.
Bill basically said Proudest Angel, and we had no better idea. So we're like, you know
Winning
what?
by default.
It was like, yeah, we're gonna run with this, and we just ran with it.
Paid refinery.
Well, let's play another song.
Sweet.
I'm kind of intrigued to hear Anathema, just because you couldn't say it when you were 16.
Right,
but
right.
you wrote a song about
Yes, yes. I actually really enjoy that song.
This is a real punch you in the dick song, so if anyone out there wants to get punched in the dick,
That's the song to do it.
now's the time
I
to
don't
do it.
have one,
So are you
have
are
fun
you
under the
suggesting
table.
they like lay it across their speakers, or what's your
No, whatever you're
what's
into.
your sales pitch
A-
here, Riley?
Ask a friend.
Phone a
Dave
friend.
knows those kinds of people. You can go.
You can. I know these type of people. You want to get punched in the dick? I got you.
There's a reason why these tracks are off of a
Jezebel,
CD
where
called
are you?
Band Decision. So
She can't hear
here's
us 'cause her
another
cat
Proudest Angel track for your enjoyment.
There's nothing worth the time.
Hey, this is Pete,
Tanner.
and we're Bloodletter, and you're listening to
All right, we just heard Anathema by Proudest Angel. Morgan, what was the name of that album? You said it's super long, but you just keep saying
Bad decision.
It's the soundtrack to your next bad decision. It
That's-
should have been Bad Decisions.
Hashtag bad decision.
The name was a bad decision.
Hashtag stay woke.
Stay woke.
Hashtag stay woke.
The soundtrack to your next bad decision.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, Morgan.
It's about that time. Chuckles.
Is it?
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for Chatting with Chuckles.
Read right through that.
Right through the dick.
Right through the dick.
It's a wavy dick like a duck's.
Hold on, I got to take a pic of this dick.
Dick pics. Hold on.
Well, Chuckles, you've got a lot to live up
Actually, I
to
don't do
now.
It's going
so
on Twitter.
Now that you've exposed yourself to all the gentlemen here,
not joking.
what you got for us this week?
I got some tour newses.
Okay. Fuck me up with some tour news, son.
We're waiting.
Yeah. I want to know.
Before I announce the first tour news, I actually want to give a shout out to Remington Roberts of Genotype.
Woo, woo, Rugby.
He actually told me to check out this band. They're called Beyond Creation.
Beyond Creation with their 43-string bass guitar.
Fuck that guy.
How many strings are on your bass?
That's not a question you should ask on the air. You
like-
might be an uncensored podcast,
Oh.
but there are limits.
Well, if anyone looks at my 5-string bass, I will cover them in salmon.
Oh.
So you play a 5-string bass? You're like
Because-
he plays a 5-string, but he removes 3 of the strings.
Yes.
Well,
He plays a 2-string.
Like any other bass player, I only use the bottom 2. But our guitarist has 7 strings, so I had to have the extra one.
But you only play 2.
It's,
Right.
it's,
Why don't you just remove the other ones? Fuck them.
Because they look cool.
Nah, man, you look real cool if you went up there and just had 2-string bass. Like, why does he have a 5-string bass? He removed 3 of the strings.
I've actually got a lead on one of those broomstick bucket 1-string
A
hillbilly
lead?
basses.
You could make that shit.
Are we going to let Chuckles give us his tour newses?
Apparently
Sorry,
not.
We're talking about some
I got
basses.
a
Guess
connection
not.
here.
I'm sick
You got
of
a
hearing
one-string
about the
bass?
bass.
I'm sorry, I'm jealous of the 43-string
Bleh. Done.
Yeah.
Charlie.
No.
43-string bass guy. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Say it again.
I'm out. So, Beyond Creation.
Their tour starts September 13th in Oakland, California. Stops in Joliet and the Forge September 22nd with Obscura, Archspire,
Archspire's sweet.
and Fury, Exist, and Carcass.
Carcass.
No, it is Carcass.
Yeah,
Luco's just
Carcass.
trying to fuck you up.
It's actually cark ass.
Luco, he's repeating everything you say. Shut up.
God damn it.
Carcass is my favorite band.
It's actually cark
Just
ass.
stop talking.
It's the Q that makes them special.
Wait, is that their Beyond Creation's on tour with cark ass?
Luco.
Yes.
Okay. That was all one
You're
tour
going to
package.
confuse the poor kid.
What else is written on there under the giant penis?
Their tour ends October 7th in Los Angeles, California.
So it starts in Oakland, ends in L.A.
Yeah.
All right, coming full circle.
Yeah.
Keyword coming. All right. What else you got for us?
Metal Injection posted that After the Burial and the Arcadia strain are going to be on tour.
Acacia.
Acacia.
What did you say? Arcade?
Arcadia. It's okay.
That's where the fairies live.
okay.
Google it.
Google it.
Good to know.
No other bands are.
Yeah, to be announced.
I think Era might be
Yeah,
on the
maybe.
tour. It's not 100%
It's After the
sure.
Burial playing the 10th anniversary of Rare Form in its entirety.
Enturity.
Luco,
Just terrible.
say things correctly.
Terrible.
Get ahead, man.
Tour starts September 27th in Detroit, Michigan. Stops in at Chicago at the House of Blues on the 29th
Of which month?
September.
September. Morgan, are you going to that?
I don't know.
She doesn't know, guys.
Stops at the Rave November 9th, and tour ends November 10th in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Charlie
After
will
the
be
burial's hometown.
at all of those. He's following the tour package.
Am I?
That's what you told
And
me.
what a package it is.
Charlie is really considering it right now. Am I really?
What a huge package you're going to be following.
Stop making dick jokes.
But it's really hard.
Yeah, but it's really...
Oh my god. You can't look at his paper, guys. There's just too much dick. All right.
You can never have too much dick.
All right, Charlie, what else do you have? Give us a mediocre amount of dick, please.
Dial back that dick.
Give it to us soft.
Give us the
That's too
the
soft.
most flaccid dick you have, Charlie.
God.
Just push a little bit of rope.
Yeah.
Just breathe. Just breathe. Push through it.
Yeah, push. Just push through it hard.
You don't have to take this from these guys.
Hold your breath and take it.
Just keep reading and think of England.
Take all solid 3 inches of it, Charlie.
Soil is going to be playing at Rock House Friday, October 12th with The Outfit and Saint Tragedy.
Saint Tragedy?
Doors are at 7 and shows at 8.
Okay.
9 Point has been on tour.
Non-point?
It wasn't supposed to be on their tour, but they actually played at Rock House.
And where's that at?
Elgin?
Charlie was there.
I was not.
Non-Point absorbed some guys from an old Chicago band called In Cinema. 2 or 3 of those guys are in Non-Point, which is kind of cool. I don't know how they know each other because I think Non-Point's from California or something.
In Cinema.
But they absorbed some dudes from Chicago a couple years ago. So
Is it
shout
non-
out In Cinema.
Thank you for that useful piece of
Hey,
information.
I loved In Cinema.
Is it Non-point only a 4-piece band?
Yeah, there's like
Yes.
18 guys in the band now, but they're not in the videos.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm done.
The owner of Rock House saw that they were on tour, saying that they had
An off day?
an off day, and saw that they were passing by and hit up Non-Point.
That's cool.
Yo,
Yeah.
motherfuckers, come and play my shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So they did play it, or they're going to play it?
They already played. Their tour ends September 22nd at Bottom Lounge
Nice.
with He Is Legend and Letters from the Fire.
Nice. Letters from the Fire is pretty sweet. All right. What else you got?
Ever heard of Slaughter?
Yes!
Ryan loves them.
they got a video on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
They do.
That's
Tell
a
him
deep
more.
cut.
He needs to know.
Yeah.
Where are they playing at?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Now that you're into the cock rock, Ryan is in full attention. And
I can't-
full,
In full
mass.
mass.
I can't even stand up right now. It'd be embarrassing.
They're playing at the
It would be
Arcada.
embarrassing.
Playing at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles.
Catherine is saying no, it wouldn't be that embarrassing.
They're
Well, it
playing.
would be for him.
They're playing with Autograph. I've never heard of them.
Yes! Holy crap!
Never heard of Autograph?
No, I'm a '90s kid.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
You add a little bit of Diamond Rex in there, and we'll be fucking set.
Why aren't we playing this show?
Maybe the Bullet Boys.
The Bullet Boys.
Is there room for another band on this bill? I will quit my job to play this show.
They're
I'll learn Smooth Up In You for this
they're
show.
mentioned in the Nickelback song.
So wait, so there's Slaughter and Autograph.
I've heard of Slaughter.
You've never heard of Autograph? What's their Autograph
you never
song?
heard the song Turn Up the Radio?
Turn up
the
radio. Feel my chubby till I come. Turn up. We'll watch the music video during one of the breaks.
Yeah.
Can we play that song during the show? Can
Yeah.
we pull that up?
So Slaughter and Autograph are on tour right now, turning it up, turned up.
Turned up to 11.
Can you imagine how many diabetes test strips are in the fucking tour bus?
I'm gonna look
the
up
opening
autograph.
set is
turn up the
actually
radio.
Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
Keep telling these boys.
You've seen Diabetes, Cat, right?
All right.
Diabetes.
Charlie, what else you got?
What else you got for us?
Are you done?
What's going on with them? With that
No,
tour?
he's done with that part. Let him continue. I don't know what we're doing now.
Listen,
There's
Charlie,
too many,
I'm gonna find.
there's
this
too
for
many
you.
phones out that are replacing this conversation. So please fill me in on information.
Boy,
Swipe
I
off.
thought I wrote down the date, but I didn't.
Hey, Dave, when's the next theme night at Bondage A Go-Go?
Oh, that would be in about 3 weeks, I want to say. Let me check my calendar.
Oh, now you got
You're as useless but I do know the theme night. It is back to school theme night.
Oh.
So we're gonna have a lot of naughty, girls dressed as, fucking schoolgirls and shit.
You got to be careful about the length of your skirt this time, Dave, because I
I
saw way
know.
too much tip. Or you got to wear underwear. One of those. You got to pick one.
The show is August 11th.
For David
so-
dressed in drag?
No, that would be August 16th.
It's every other Thursday, guys.
For the Slaughter show.
Okay.
Show is at 8 tickets or 39 to 69 bucks.
69.
I am getting VIP on this.
So I actually have autographed "Turn Up the Radio" in my saved music videos on YouTube.
Nice.
Right next to Loverboy, loving every minute of it, and Damn Yankees, Don't Tread on Me, and Paul Simon's Don't. You Can Call Me Al.
That was a weird
Those
night.
are all right in there. Just having a good time. Just palling around.
Anything else,
I just want
Charlie?
to know what that date looks like.
That's all I got.
All right, that's all you got.
Unfortunately, I don't have a unsigned band this
So
week.
why don't we play autographs? Turn Up the Radio.
Let's not, because I don't have the internet, let's play another Proudest Angel track. Because they're the ones here with us.
So
tonight.
while-
we do
while
have to.
The listener listens to another Proudest Angel track. We will listen to autograph Turn Up the Radio, so Charlie can hear it.
We should cover Turn Out the Radio.
Oh,
Give
that's a
me
good
some
one.
more.
All right, so you guys want to play the song
Oh, no, Wicked Game would probably be because Shame Light's like 15 minutes long.
Wicked Game?
There we go.
And if you want a copy of Wicked Game, go ahead and buy a ticket to this week's show at Cubby Bear, and you get a free download of the old Wicked Game.
All right, here we go. Get wicked.
do I to sing the wrong verse to? What a wicked thing to say. You never felt that way. What a wicked thing to do to let me dream of you. Don't wanna fall in nobody knows. No.
It's the downside of life, folks. Sometimes I fuck up. Like, for instance, I've been holding this phone the whole time to take a video. Wasn't even recording. Outlaw country! I think this outlaw shit's done turned out.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You got Diggs McNasty,
Timmy D, Corey Carmander Davidson,
And Jared Ercole from Fools Brew, and we fucking love metal. So listen in to the metal experience because there's some cool motherfuckers, goddammit. Ho ho!
Whoa.
I did better than you.
Well, tonight you did.
I don't have much of a voice tonight.
I don't think I captured the woo. I think I just started it right after he wooed because he wooed as soon as I hit play. So never happened.
Never happened.
Nothing happened.
You're going to have to do it again. Woo! All right, there we go.
Sounded like a bird.
Is there a bird in here?
Woo! That's an owl.
Who?
Not just any bird. That was an owl.
Who? So, Mr. Owl.
How many licks does it take to get
how
to the
many
center
licks
of a
does it
Tootsie
take
Pop?
to get to the center of my sack?
Not two.
3 licks.
More than that.
3.5.
Charlie,
That's some
stop
sad.
admitting there's more.
What are we doing?
Just heard.
Wearing.
Just heard "Wicked Game" from Proudest Angel.
That's a cover of a Chris Isaac song.
Ryan, do you need more paper towels?
You know, I'm just going to melt away. That's okay.
Can we get more paper
Did
towels
you-
from my
did
guy
you-
over here?
Did you bring
forgot
another
that I was
shirt?
wearing sunglasses, but the advantage is I can't quite see so much of his moisture.
Did you bring
The
another
glisten.
shirt, Ryan, or no?
Can you feel it?
Are these your pregnancy symptoms?
If so, he's been pregnant since he was about 15.
Is somebody pregnant?
I am.
Sure it's not you.
No, he's having hot flashes.
I'm going through menopause, guys. Having hot flashes. Oh, my goodness. Well, we're here, Metal Experience, rocking out with a very sweaty Proudest Angel.
Just one of us are sweaty. I'm
Hey,
okay.
but this is sweaty enough for everyone.
He's got enough moisture for a football team.
So now we're all sweaty.
Holy shit. Is that your whole arm just covered?
Yeah. Well, some of that
Yes.
is my sweat from my forehead.
You should give her a hug at the end.
Yes, let's all hug.
We'll take pictures, but he'll be in the middle.
He's going to take his shirt on, wring it out.
This,
And
this is the deepest into performance I've gotten with my shirt still on.
I mean,
We're not stopping
you can pop it if you need it. I mean, if it's only slowing you down, you can pop it.
I told you, it's like a battle toad. Don't encourage him.
Listeners, I want you to imagine me slowly taking my shirt off. It gets stuck around my head.
How do I undownload a podcast?
I can't figure out the next step. I gyrate, not to be sexy, but because I'm slowly suffocating. You feel my hands reach for you, desperately, hoping you'll save me.
But they can't get a grip due to the moisture.
So slippery.
Oh, my goodness.
Feel for you. This has
is
become
a-
a horror
this is a cry
movie.
for help.
Oh my god.
Do you need more
What
water?
are you drinking?
More water just means more sweat.
Oh my god.
Let me drain the tank first.
Oh, my goodness. I'm surprised it doesn't get like. I'm surprised the mustache isn't just dripping,
It's kind of like a rag in itself.
just dripping off the sides.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladles?
ladles and gentlemen,
Ladles
when
and gentlemen.
When you see photos of Ryan Riley, I want you to keep in mind that he has a pedophile mustache not because he rapes children, but because it's required for his job.
Well, no, it's not required for my job. It's the only facial hair I'm allowed for my job.
Are we supposed to guess your profession now?
Male stripper.
Yes!
Got it. Knew it. Duh. Couldn't you tell?
That's my job.
Down at the Man Factory.
Down at the Man
The
Factory.
sweatiest male stripper I've ever seen besides him is Chris
dripping.
Farley when he was trying out for Chippendales.
Yeah, but Chris Farley can't do his own slip and slide routine.
Ryan just took it up a notch.
Oh, man. First he's going to steal first, then he's going to steal your heart. Ryan Riley.
After he steals your towel.
After he ruins your towel.
Oh my goodness.
It's the Shroud of Ryan.
Is this how you guys are like all throughout your practices
This is how
together?
we are for the last 30 years.
I one time blinded a former bandmate. I was headbanging, and he's singing and playing bass.
Back when he still had hair.
He gets sweat in his eye, and he can't see. He can't see his fingers. He can't see the audience. He just knows he's near the microphone. And he had to perform that for the rest of the set.
Damn.
Just blind?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right in the eyes.
He called me the human sprinkler for good reason.
Oh, liquid coming out of every orifice.
Oh, yeah.
And every pore. Jesus.
And the romantic music started because...
I hope no one's taking this chair after me, because I feel kind of bad.
Oh my goodness. We're going to have to sanitize those headphones.
You might as well burn them.
Yeah,
I think
you should just buy new
I think I should just buy you guys a pair of headphones now.
Hey, you can just take those home.
Yeah.
Wow, Charlie's giving away our gear tonight. Didn't know that was happening on me.
I feel like the listeners are going to lose out a little bit because this conversation is being enhanced by the big band music that's coming through the ceiling.
You won't hear as much as you think.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They're going to lose out.
They are.
I really feel like this this nice, lovey big band music really...
Why don't you interpret what you're hearing for the listeners to hear?
So this is what you'd expect to hear as Lauren Bacall is crossing the bar and about to say something sexy to Humphrey Bogart. But instead of Humphrey Bogart, it's a man with a beard. And instead of Lauren Bacall, it's a firefighter with a pedo stash.
You should go up there with your cell phone, and we should do a remote. And you should.
I thought you were just going to give us the sounds that you were hearing it with your mouth.
But instead,
No, I want
become
to
the orchestra
I
for
want
us.
to paint a picture.
Well, we're on radio.
Just painting it in your mind.
I thought this was a
Okay.
podcast.
Jesus Christ, you are sweaty. I love it.
It's the studio lights.
You want us to dim the lights?
We're in
Is
a
there
bomb
anything-
shelter.
Is there anything we can do to make you more comfortable?
I mean, you could also sweat like an animal.
Yeah, if you guys, if you guys were
Yeah,
just
if you
like-
could,
just
if you
start
could work
sweating.
up the sweat of a dying horse, that'd really make him feel less alone.
Oh my goodness.
Let's play
Sweat
more
rag just stuck to me.
Proudest Angel. Maybe you need to take a step outside, get some fresh air.
That's probably a good idea.
That's
I could
probably
try
the
and-
best idea that we have right now for you. Because
I could try and find a fan.
well, first let's take him outside so at least he can.
Let's ring you
Not
out.
feel
real
like
quick.
As long as we're trying to get all these lovers in the mood, we can bring it down with our little ballad known as Canto Doler.
There we go.
That feels really nice. Man.
So Canto Doler, what is that song about?
Go ahead, Billy Peaks. I mean, Payman. Whatever
I
your name
mean,
is.
you really want me to bring
It's
the room
Doctor.
down and talk about childhood sexual abuse?
Yes.
I thought you said this was romantic, Ryan.
No, I said it brings it down. It's a ballad. I didn't say anything about it. Well, I probably did.
Jesus.
Nothing gets me in the mood quite like child sexual abuse.
You just had to go there. Yeah,
Now you're going to get fired from a Disney movie.
that happened. Oh my God.
Hey, it's also a tale of vengeance or suicide. I haven't figured it out yet.
Just play the fucking song.
Listen to the lyrics, folks.
You need to get some fresh air.
Here comes my old friend, knocking on my
comes my old friend once again. Here comes my old friend, Canto Dolo, the song of pain. Here comes my old friend yet again. I can still see the layout of the place. Crystal clear remembrance, save the scar on his face. Gun on the counter, the money pills, the tears were in my eyes. So innocent, such injustice, they were deaf to all my cries. Here comes my old friend, knocking at my door again. Here comes my old friend once again. Here comes my old friend, Canto Dolo, the song of pain. Here comes my old friend once again. What's a child to do with no more tears to cry? Dying in his own life, wanting to believe a lie. A child's prison, 4 by 6, 6, 6. Placed down 44 upon the Enrican floor, and I said, my old friend, knocking on my door again. Here comes my old friend once again. Here comes my old friend, Canto Dolo, the song of pain. Here comes my old friend once again. What's a child to do with no more tears to cry? Dying in his own life, wanting to believe a lie. A child's prison, 4 by 6, 6, 6. Faced down 44 upon the Enrican floor, and I said, here comes my old friend, knocking on my door again. Here comes my old friend once again. Here comes my old friend, Canto Dolo, the song of pain. Here comes my old friend once again.
Oh, my freaking ears!
Well, I expect that type of language at Denny's, but not here. Well, that's too freaking bad. You hear me?
Because we're throwing it back to Morgan and Luco on the Metal Experience.
We are back once again with the Metal Experience. I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, Chuckling Charlie, and his Chuckle
He
Factory.
waved. He waved. So
It's okay. He's got no chuckles.
The infamous on-air wave.
Yeah. Hey. We just heard another Proudest Angel track called Canto Dolor, and that was off of Bad Decision. And before we get back to more Proudest Angel. That was terrible, Luco.
Just throwing garbage
we
around.
Have a special guest here for a few minutes to discuss his awesome new event. Brett came down a while ago to discuss his first event that he had put together after being away from a promoter for some time, and came and promote that a while back. And now he's back with another event that he's put back together to promote tonight and let the world know what he has in store for you. So, take it away, Brett.
All right. Hey, thanks, Morgan. Yeah, it's going to be an event that's coming up next month. It's going to be a cross promotion between like multi-cities, Chicago and Milwaukee. What we're doing, the concept is we're going to be inviting the Chicago local scene bands here, some of which who are represented by a good friend that I've gotten to know right now. His name is Lee Spears. He's starting up this management, LS Management, where he has some of the local bands, 13 Monsters, Amsterdam, a couple other ones that have been circulating around this area and southern Wisconsin. He'll be up there along with Bullet to the Heart, who you just had at the opening of the podcast, which I'm exceptionally thankful for. Dominic Boss does a great job, and they are just amazing to listen to. And those are some of the representatives, including Double Speak, of the bands that are going to be coming up representing Chicago as part of the invitation for the two-city cross-promotion event. We did it the first time on June 2nd, and it was amazing. The turnout and the buzz just snowballed after that. So that's kind of what's given us the momentum to do this. Word on the street or, in the back or whatever the case may be in the music scene, where people have said, hey, this is a good thing to do, and people have jumped on it, and we've been able to create this thing where we have two cities now with their local music at Crimson Club. It's in West Allis, Wisconsin. West Allis is kind of one of those rock cities. They like their shots, they like their beer, they like to hear their rock music, so why not bring an incorporation of two cities who kind of do the same thing. And we also have some music from our side of town, Mothlight, which is a post-apocalyptic electronica, which I almost thought like they are doing the first time of that genre ever, because I can't even recall one band that does it. So I'm eager to have them booked at this event and to be part of it. And then we have Dr. Destruction, Dale, who a lot of people know in the Kenosha area, along with the Roosevelt Dolls. And then we have the NSOA, the New Society of Anarchists, which is a hugely followed underground punk band. And it's just amazing that all these bands are going to be under the same roof for the same night. And I already kind of spilled out to a couple of these bands, but I'm going to probably be littering the whole street of Greenfield Avenue with Chicago flags, and that's my goal. That's my design for the show. So I kind of give you a little snippet of what I have planned for that event. But yeah, it's going to be pretty much the concept is an invitation for Chicago bands to feel welcome to Milwaukee, because, we always, you hear the dissension kind of more so on the sports end, Brewers, Cubs, Packers, Bears, whatever.
Go Bears.
Bears suck. So
I'd rather have dysentery than watch a baseball game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But yeah, it's going to be neat to kind of, and it's beautiful kind of how this all ended up being like a 50-50 split. Out of the 6 bands, 3 of them are Chicago, 3 of them are Milwaukee. I'm like, it just turned out that way, and I'm like, perfect. No one's getting more play time, so you can't like look at it like, oh my God, you're favoring Chicago over us for this big event. No, it's a good, equal, fair amount, and it's one of those things where even some of the bands who are coming to play there are like, oh my God, these bands from Chicago, Bullet to the Heart's playing, and some of the bands that are in Chicago are like, those bands in Milwaukee are good. A lot of these punk bands, rock bands, they love Dr. Destruction. And he's been around forever. He's been since the 70s punk scene in New York. G.G. Allen, we're talking like way back. So it's kind of great to have that little nod to the homage, which was the case last time when I did the Night of Rock with Lithic, who did New York scene, CBGBs and whatnot. So it's kind of neat to incorporate that into these events, kind of pass the proverbial torch, if you will. And I'm really just happy to be a part of it, because I part of what I do is try not to fanboy out way too much, because I'm like, control, Brett, control. You got to stay business. but you got to have fun too. But how can you not like fanboy out a little bit when you see somebody who rocked it with some of these greater bands like Deftones and whatnot throughout the course of their career? And even like listening to you guys, it sounded like you guys were you started in '99.
Yeah.
I was a 18-year-old kid, not to do this whole, how old am I? But I was 18 years old, and I'm like, I loved rock. I love music, and the fact that you guys are together and you're still doing this stuff, I'm like, that's amazing. And you guys are funny as hell. I'm going to say that because I wasn't even sure. I'm like, do I even say anything, or just like, do I just chalk up this trip down here and say, you know what, I'm just going to chill with the food and the drinks back on the couch and just like, this is fun. Like, I could listen to you guys laugh and talk about everything all day. I'm like, yeah, well, this was worth the drive down here. So.
But now that you're close enough to smell it, so you're changing your mind?
No, I'm just wanting to be around it more. No. Yeah.
He's feeling a little moist.
You can follow him back to Milwaukee after the show.
I'm just saying, Riley makes his own lube, if you get what I mean.
I'm going to scoot just a little.
He brings
There's nowhere to run.
Oh, shit.
Snuggle with a struggle.
Oh, my. Now I see why I was strategically placed right here. Okay, well.
Man, I fucking like that. Snuggle with a struggle. I'm going to use that. I'm forcibly holding you down, Charlie.
Well, that just got uncomfortable.
Look at those eyes.
I'm glad it's Charlie,
those eyes
not
tell
me.
The story.
And then he winked.
You want to switch seats? It's out.
I didn't know this was a wrestling event.
Added bonus.
I would have brought my knee pads.
All right, I'm a professional.
It's been great, guys. I gotta get. That's my cue.
It sounds like you've got more to promote. Yeah. Promote away.
But I forgot to add the best part about this is because it's going to be an incorporation of the Chicago bands. If you're from the Chicago area, or actually, let me rephrase that. If you're from the Illinois area, you can be from Joliet, Antioch, Elmhurst, wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Southern Tip, it doesn't matter. Giggity. But I'm just saying, the point is, if you're from anywhere in Illinois, you come up to this event in West Dallas, Wisconsin, you show your ID, you get in free. You don't pay cover. You don't pay cover for this conglomerate of massive bands of the local scene, some of them who've been around, some of them who are just amazing to hear, and you know their potential is only going on the upswing. You get to come here and you get to say, hey, I'm from Illinois, here's my license, and you're in. You get to be in there, and unlike the last time where I was down here, the venue has changed. A lot of people, from the last event, we were talking about I forgot, I'm not even going to name the name, but it was a shithole dive bar that I'm not even going to try to get into. It turned out ugly, and now this place is kind of like a revamped, it's called the Crimson Club, a revamped like European DJ style. It's got an impeccable sound system. There's lasers, there's fog machines, there's unicorns. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Calm down. Ryan's getting sweaty over here.
Mission accomplished.
Bring out the owl towel.
Oh man, I want an owl towel.
I just want to alert the audience
I got
that
a
more of
unicorn
his
horn.
shirt is wet than dry.
Who?
But how is he doing? That's what.
Who?
Also wet.
Oh. But yeah, so like I said, if you come up there, you're gonna be able to get in for free, just showing your, and that's part of it. It's an invitation concept. We'll be right back after this.
Are you going fishing?
Oh my goodness.
Don't ask that.
But yeah,
This week's show brought in 3D.
You ever heard of noodling?
that might be there too. So just want to let you know.
All right.
Some noodling.
Yep, we're gonna
Well,
have
that's
some
exciting.
noodling,
You were telling me at the Crimson Club too. They have the table that has the
yeah.
laser beams going through.
It's kind of like Space Odyssey or Jetsons or something. The owner comes from a European DJ experience. He's been out on the West Coast. His name is Jeff.
That
so
doesn't
Jeff,
sound very European.
No.
DJ Jeff.
Name Jeff.
That's a nice.
It's Jeff.
There we go. But yeah, they're very experienced as far as how they set up their club and what they bring to the table. And It was great because the first one almost fell through, and I had to contact somebody, and they were very willing to take on the concept, the event, and it turned out to, like I said, be a success. And it's been snowballing up there, buzzing around the whole Milwaukee scene, and we've already pretty much booked events from now until December.
Nice.
That's how
That's
fast.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, and bands like Revolution X, if people have heard of them, Altria. Let me think about some other 3 Left. I'm trying to think of some other one of the big ones that are going to be there. Those are some of the ones that just come to Hijack, the one that I'm wearing, shirt. They're a great band. That band will go. You say, hey, we need you to play in the desert, in December, or well, that doesn't make any sense. If you need to play out in the woods in December, they will literally go out there and play. They are so willing to hone their craft and become where they're going right now, which is on the upswing. Everyone knows who they are in Wisconsin. Everybody.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been nice to be able to book, and these guys, Jeff and his wife Jennifer at the Crimson Club, they are great. They do customer service, 10 stars or whatever you want to call it. They're amazing just to be able to accept, and their creativity is one of the things. I mean, it's hard because you come up to them and you're like, I have this concept, and some people are like, did you smoke too much or something? And but these guys are kind of like, I like that, I dig that, and they're on the same page, and that's
cool.
That really breeds.
That's cool. Venue owners who are just involved as you are. That's
right,
cool.
right, and it's the same mindset, and it's the beauty of what can happen when you have those collective minds together. And there's a couple other people, like I said, LS Management, who handles Amsterdam, who will be there. Lee Spears, he's actually like 20 minutes away by Midway Airport from here. So he's Chicago based. He's upswing. He's on the upswing too, with his promotion. And him and I are talking about, hey, how can we make this a long-term thing? We're already in talks just to see how much we can do for the local scenes of both of our respective areas. And I said, hey, I'll entertain any thought if it's for the greater good. It's really not about me. Even as a booker, promoter, event coordinator, whatever label you want to give me. This is about, like I said in the previous podcast, this is about when owners become greedy and they get disengaged. This is about bands who don't get paid. This is about all these things that over the years, like I said, 10 years ago I did it, and then I faded out and did some other things, military and whatnot. And then I came back and I see it kind of looks like a desolate ghost town, like fucking Chernobyl. And I'm like, Jesus, this is sad. And these guys just, the one that happened at the venue that I needed to switch, dude interrupts a set and starts playing the drums, and we're like, what the fuck is he doing? This is the kind of shit that's going on.
For real?
There.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I had to pull everyone from the bands and relocate them to what is now the Crimson Club, where we do these sustained events throughout the rest of the year. But yeah, that kind of horse shit happens up there, and there's people that, will jip you pay, will, just say, hey, go up there, not have equipment, not have preparation. I mean, that happens way too much, and you're like, if you want to, sell yourself as semi-professional on the extent of how you're going to deliver yourself, you kind of have to back it up. And, I mean, not to get too buzzkill, but I'm like, that part should just be a given, common sense, and they should be able to do that without having somebody, especially if they've been around. That's the really confusing part, is they've been around. They know that they've either been in a band, owned a previous bar, that have invited bands or whatnot, and they just lose whatever it is. They lose their zest or something else. They're going through a midlife crisis or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know, somebody, stole something. I don't know what the hell could have happened that made this situation occur, but I'm not going to set anything up, whether it's the theme, the customers, the bands. I am not going to set them up for failure, and that's just some of the stuff I incorporate from the military, get your shit together and make sure you're ready and prepared. So,
right.
There's a lot of fascinating things throughout the course of that 10 years where I was away that I'm like, I like that. I'm incorporating that. That sounds stupid. I'm not using that. And that's how this has kind of all, come to be. And so I want to make sure that it's the best experience, and it's for the local bands. Some of these bands that are playing throughout now until December, they've never even hit a stage like this. No one's sitting there giving them saying, hey, you have potential, you sound good, you have decent, and they don't, because most of these places, as we discussed last time, they're like, no, we're going to stick with the cover bands. We're going to stick with just the solely cover bands. And I'm like, but you're losing out on so many people that have potential. People that are like musicians, they actually compose. They're like very profound, and they know what they're doing, and they can create some impressive shit. It's like these guys, they don't even belong here. They belong at like Juilliard, or they belong in some of these artsy places where they can perform their craft, or out in the West Coast, some of the places that I think I mentioned last time when I was visiting, like the Viper Room and Whiskey A Go-Go. I'm like, that's where they belong. These guys are that caliber, and for whatever reason, the bridge, the gap, it's never happened, and if this is some way in order to get eyes from some of that area, or Nashville, which is, by the way, I forgot to add, we got, because of this ability to do this, we have 3 national tours coming through West Dallas. One of them is the Pink Spiders from Nashville.
Nice.
They're going to be coming in.
They're awesome.
And they're going to be playing Chicago August 19th. We got them to come up to finish their tour on August 20th. So it's amazing that they're like, yep, we trust what you're doing. We see what you're doing. We appreciate what you're doing. And then we got like Sonar Lights from Texas. We got Auditory Armory from Florida. We got a couple bands who are doing national tours now, saying we're going to take a shot at this Crimson Club place in West Dallas.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's
blowing things up out there.
Yeah, yeah. And
very exciting.
I want you guys to come out here. I was like that. Like now, listening to you guys, I'm like, you guys are awesome. Like,
yes,
absolutely.
Let's do it right now.
I knew it.
I would totally think that would be great to do some way somehow. And
you're sitting next to their coordinator right now. His name's Ryan.
Yeah, I just said yes. We're good.
Okay.
So talk to him.
Yeah.
Make sure his hands dry first.
No.
Yeah.
You can shake it later.
Somebody give me an owl towel. I need an owl towel.
A wet nap.
Yeah, right. So.
Oh, I am a wet nap.
Oh.
Interpret that as you will.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. Like I said, we got an event actually this Saturday. It'll be the second one. The one that's coming in August 25th at the Crimson Club, where the Chicago-Milwaukee bands are splitting the event. That's going to be actually the third event, the third night of rock. And the Pink Spiders will be performing earlier that week. And so we have that coming up in the next month's time frame.
And what's the event that you have Saturday?
That's the second one. We have Hijack. We have the Stallones. We have Video Dead.
The Stallones?
Yep.
The French Stallones?
I feel like the Stallone should be playing with Bullet to the Heart.
I see what you did there.
God, that was an awful movie, but at least there was a nude scene.
You're thinking of Bullet to the Head.
I know.
You mean when Stallone got nude, right?
Right. Well, funny story about that.
Should be
Ryan
Bullet
and I
to
were in a
my
band
eye.
years
I gotta hear
ago
this.
called Sutured Psyche. And we got extremely drunk and went to the theater to see that movie with our drummer, Jake, who's now working for Facebook in California. And we're watching the movie, and there's a scene in the bathhouse where Stallone is walking around wearing nothing but a towel over his shoulders, and Jake, at the top of his lungs, says, "Jesus, I'm glad there's a nude scene."
And every time someone got shot in the face, we screamed "Bullet to the Head" and then drank our smuggled in liquor.
We might have been passing a bottle of whiskey around in a theater full of people who were angry that they paid money, but that's their problem.
Anyway, the Stallones.
Yeah. So the Stallones, not anything related to that, but they're like what I like to call raw, green, fresh, but they're like you guys. They have a great sense of humor, which to me just is important because if you're not stiff, if you're not an asshole, that makes everything great. But them and Video Dead, Hijack, Love Lies Bleeding is another band with a great female vocalist. Let me see who are the other ones. Oh, I'm not going to be doing any. Oh, Inbound and Ignition 89, who were on the previous, the first one back in June 2nd. They're going to be returning. So we have 3 of the bands who were on the first bill on June 2nd coming back to return and kind of let the people who missed the first one, shame on them, see what they missed. And like I said, Hijack is one of those promising bands that their only direction is up. They do what's needed, and they're just great people regardless. So they have the right mentality, they have the right drive, and they have the right talent. So They'll be there, and it's great if you're in the Milwaukee area or the Chicago area and you feel like, hey, I got to check this out before August 25th just to get a sneak peek at what it's like. Come on up there. It's in West Dallas. I'll say 72nd and Greenfield just to keep it simple, but you can literally you can Google Birdman's with Birdman's Night of Rock, and the first 20 things will show you all the different events now, even the little images. They'll show you a map now where the Crimson Club is. So I guess that's a promising sign where you can Google just one name and start getting things showing up on it. I don't know. So yeah, that's what's going on this Saturday. And then, like I said, August 20th will be the Pink Spiders, who Hijack will be opening for. And then 25th of August will be the merger between the Chicago bands and the Milwaukee bands. And like I said, if you're from any part in Illinois and you come up there with your ID, show us. You're in for free. We want this to be an invitation. We don't want this to be something where there's any dissension for, I think, the first time in the history between Chicago and Milwaukee. I don't. But
Do you count East St. Louis?
Oh, East St. Louis. Oh my God. I've heard stories of this. We're gonna just play it safe this time and do yeah. So, but yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to.
Well, thanks for making the drive down and telling us all about it. That's exciting to,
thank you
to
guys.
see how much you've gotten accomplished in a short period of time of coming back into the scene.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I hope to be back down here again soon and let you know
Anytime.
about the next big thing or whatever's going on with it. So.
And keep us posted. We'll share the link on our Facebook page coming up of the events that they've got going on, so you can check them out and you get all the details as well.
All right.
All right, Proudest Angels up with another track.
Why don't we play a twofer? What are the next 2 tracks you guys want to play tonight?
Let's do Starlight.
If she does Shame Light, that is 2 tracks.
Yeah, but that's like sloppy
Seconds.
drinking a bottle of wine in the house recording.
Well, then take it away, DJ Payman.
Let's do Starlight and Civilly Feral.
Booyah!
Because those were both recorded professionally.
Semi-professionally.
All right.
Our engineer was an asshole.
Some more bad decisions to listen to. More Proudest Angel.
What's up, everybody? This is Tom.
This is Mike.
This is Greg.
This is John.
This is Dean.
We are
Endgame.
And you are listening to The Metal Experience, the most fucking metal radio show on the dial.
All right, we just heard Starlight and Civilly Feral. That was another twofer. That was the first twofer we've done tonight by Proudest Angel. What are both of those tracks about?
So, Civilly Feral is vague enough to not be a HIPAA violation, but I got real angry with a patient one day, and that's what happened there.
Dr. Payman is a psychologist.
Suck my ass. And Starlight is, well, that's one of those tracks
what
about
is that
being
song about?
mad at religion. So
it was a riff I had been sitting on since
so good.
like my college years as a guitarist, and so our first practice, I really liked the rig that was in the room, and I was like, I wonder what this will sound like on bass. And then it turned into the first song that we wrote as a band.
And it's not the only song that's worked like that, because I've been in bands with Ryan before, and he would pull out these guitar parts that never sounded right. Like, he had plenty of ones that did sound good, but he would
compliments.
periodically pull one out that just sounded weird. It just didn't sound correct. And he's pulled them out several times in this band. It's not the only thing he's pulled out, but when he pulls those out, it actually turns out well.
My
The
boobs.
rest of the time, we like
His rig. When you pull out your rig.
Oh.
I
I don't know how he always gets the berries above the twig.
It's actually writing with this band has been really cool.
Yes.
John's got some riffs he's sat on. I've had a few things that I brought to the band, but
Dave cuts through the bullshit.
We've become really like there's a lot of really collaborative songs. Like we have the song called "We Had Fun," which is our own. It's our second music video off of Soundtrack to Next Bad Decision, and "We Had Fun" was a fully collaborative song. John couldn't make it to practice one day, but we were all there anyway. So the three of us, Dave, Bill, and I, were just jamming, and I sort of had this bass part, and I was kind of hating it, but we worked it out a little bit. And then at the next practice, Dave and John were working around with it, and they came up with what the chorus was. And we got to the bridge, and we're all just kind of like staring at each other. So we look at John, we're like, just write something thrashy. And the whole song just developed, and it was like that was when I knew that this is the band I want to be in. Like not like first I was a fanboy, and here's my buddies getting back together, and this will be a fun little reunion project. But then we wrote "We Had Fun," and I just knew like
we had fun.
Yeah. Ba-doom boom.
Yeah, luckily the songwriting process is actually easy for us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're lucky in that aspect. Like Ryan will come up with a riff, boom, we're just off and running and just putting together pieces and put together the parts. And because I know, like in other bands, sometimes writing can be like just pulling teeth. Like you want to sit down and you write and you just like you get to the practice spot. All right, we're gonna write a new song. And you just sort of stare at each other.
Yeah.
And I think one of the big assets that we have is actually the fact that Dave is also in Sinister Fate as a singer and a guitarist.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's thinking about things from multiple angles. Sure, he's sitting behind the drums, but he's consistently able. It wasn't a joke when I said you cut through the bullshit. He's consistently able to figure out how a structure should work, what the next part should be, how these two parts can be tied together. And because he's been in a lot of bands and written a lot of music, oftentimes he'll just say, fuck it, do it twice. And instead of having a long argument, we do it twice, and it works. And he's very good at structuring what are oftentimes
sweaty messes.
Yes, sweaty
Sometimes
messes.
simplistic is the best.
And we started tracking the next album, and we got drums laid down for a bunch of songs, and we started putting down bass. Guitars coming up soon, and then in the meantime, we started writing 2 other songs. So what was going to be like a 5-song EP is probably going to grow into a 9-10 song album by the time we're ready to go. Because after the Cubby Bear show, we don't really have anything lined up. So we're going to...
Well, and somebody's having a baby.
Yeah. Who?
Not me.
Wait, it's not tacos?
It's not tacos.
Oh.
She's been lying to you for months.
Oh, I better stop spending the money on drugs.
It's not just bloat.
Oh,
But it's also going to give us a chance to start putting, like, I don't know if it's we or if it's just Mama Bear over here pushing for it, but we're starting to build a lot more content for the internet. So we did a lyric video for almost every song off that last album, with the exception of one. We got 2 music videos off of that we shot. We've toyed around with some animation that might be coming out later on down the line. We've been sharing a lot of stuff with our patrons on Patreon. So if you are,
What is Patreon?
Patreon is amazing. So if you're a fan of a band or an artist or a writer or various creators, you can go on there and you can pledge $1 a month or per creation or more if you want, and you're rewarded with these various tiers of content. So on our Patreon, if you pledge more, you get earlier access, and if you pledge a lot more, you get exclusive stuff for yourself. But all of our patrons get stuff before anyone else does. So we played a show as part of this festival called Happy Headbanger Fest in 2016, and we recorded the whole album. We recorded the whole set at Elbow Room, and only our patrons have access to that album. Like the song Shame Light that you guys have is from that show, and the only people who can even hear that album are our patrons, so that's our thank you to them. But then other stuff, like when we released Wicked Game as a cover, our patrons had a month of that before anyone else could get to it. Bill writes was writing, is
This
starting
is
to write
funny?
again.
Yeah, it is funny.
He has the most eclectic collection of music I've ever seen, and I have a lot of eclectic friends. So he will randomly pick an album on his iPod,
Like literally just put it through shuffle and be like, I don't want to review that.
and
I don't
so
wanna review
Dr.
that.
Payman's Spare Meds is a somewhat weekly review of rap albums and country albums and blues albums and pop albums. And
Weird old goth from the early 80s.
And all of our patrons, they get that a week before that. So our thank you for them supporting us, which is also going to help us, with making this album. It helped us a lot with ordering merch in the past. They get all this exclusive early access, which is pretty cool. And some stuff is just theirs. And there's a super secret website that we give them access to where all of our free stuff is.
What?
Right.
I know. Right?
How do you get into this cult?
You go to
patreon.com/Proudest Angel, and for $1, you get it all. So you can actually get $1 for the first month, and then be like, fuck it, we got it all, and leave. But we would hope that you would continue to support us, because that's nice.
Because it's a fucking buck.
It's really nice when people give like $5 or $10 and then forget they're doing it.
Yeah. Always fun.
That's pretty cool. How did you find out about doing something like
It's
that?
actually a pretty widespread thing, although mostly from what I've seen, it's writers and visual artists.
Like a lot of YouTube channels have it, and YouTube is kind of where I get most of my entertainment from now these days.
Yeah, and there's a lot of adult content on there as well.
There used to be. A lot of adult content is being shut down on it because the new laws that are passing. So now they're shutting down burlesque performers and sideshow performer Patreons and things like that.
Jezebel.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hi.
we did
Hi. That's all I had to say.
Yeah, it used to be a lot of smut and stuff, but now they're
Well, and
Exclusive
so
smut.
since we have this album coming out, we'll probably start releasing demo material on Patreon. We actually have 2 cartoons on there that are outtakes of the guys talking in band practice,
So good.
which get turned into cartoons, and then they get surprised by it. One day I sent them text messages, and I made them just send me weird memos, and I turned that into a cartoon.
Ryan taking things out of context and making it into a story.
I literally got a text saying, all I need you to do is record you saying, "Is that a dragon?" No explanation. No, like, there's just not, all I get,
No
that's literally my entire text I get is, I look at my phone and see, hey, I need you to do me a favor. Just send me a voice recording of you saying, "Is that a dragon?" And that's literally it.
I got this text at work asking for me to say, I always have a gun. And I must have spent 15 minutes in my office trying to figure out, like, what the hell is he going to use this for? What should the delivery be? Just recording it over
What's
and
my
over until I
motivation?
finally sent it.
That's awesome.
And then we get, I'm actually on the Patreon. I think I pledge $1 every month. I pledge $1 every month to my own band.
Band dues.
I don't even do that.
I know, she didn't even do that. And then also I get like these emails like, oh, there's all these videos put up on the Patreon. I'm like, videos? I'm like, what the fuck? And then I watch the video and I see there's my clip of me, is that a dragon? And I'm like, is this what he's doing with his spare time?
Cartoon Dave has nipple piercings.
Oh, yeah.
He does.
If you want to see Cartoon Dave with nipple piercings, patreon.com/Proudest Angel is your gateway.
My goodness.
Perfect. Well, really quickly, Luco, it's about that time for you. It's overtime now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Gotta put some stuff on the cutting room floor.
All right, here we go.
Now it's time for
Hey, man, look what I found.
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week, just like every week, is always brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week, we have our second winner from the July contest we held with Songdo, the Songdo website. That was Songdo's another platform overseas in recording and not recording and in promoting metal music online and whatnot. Tonight we have the band Fluff Paradox. They are all the way from New Delhi, India, and the song is Under the Sun, which they also have a lyric video up now on the band's Facebook and YouTube page. Morgan, let's do some Fluff Paradox.
There's nothing
Hi, we're Debility, and I'm Zach.
I'm Sean.
Johnny Taco.
I'm Ryan. They've locked us in this room. There's no food in here. I'm cold and tired. They want us to tell you that you listen to the
Metal
Experience.
Experience.
Please send help.
All right, that was Fluff Paradox all the way from New Delhi, India. And that was Under the Sun, which has a lyric video up now on the band's Facebook page and YouTube page. And that was always, every week, brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings, but it was especially brought to you by Songdo Productions. Morgan, what does Songdo? Tell the world.
Songdo is a company that hit us up, I want to say almost a year and a half ago, that is based in India for helping musicians of all types of genres have the ability to get on the national TV and get in touch with different promoters and different platforms to help promote their music more. So it's kind of like our version of like a Reverb Nation, but
different promoters like us, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, that's how they
contacted
kind
us.
of found us, right? So they were trying to find more things that were happening in the United States as opposed to like the Middle East or places around like India that they could hit usually. They're trying to branch out, so this is their way of trying to get their artists noticed in the US. And we have a monthly or bi-monthly contest with them to try to get punk and rock metal bands heard from their country out here. So
now
it's pretty cool.
Can bands in America hit them up to
There's-
get heard out in India?
There's a couple. I haven't seen much US. I've been on the website a little bit. There's some like Eastern European music. There's been people from Belgium, but not
like the Waffles.
What? No.
For what it's worth, if you're willing to pay our travel expenses, we will play in Calcutta.
All right. Well,
just Calcutta.
Calcutta.
This is
Proudest Angel.
bad
Ryan
idea
does all
written
their
all
work.
over it. Hit me up, Calcutta. Yeah, we got the soundtrack for it.
Okay. Well, we'll see where that goes. Ryan's in charge. He can do that for you.
Ryan's in charge.
Band mom.
Favorite
That's what
Band
they want
mom.
first. Band mommy.
Yikes.
Is that where you're going to put on the back of your minivan?
Band mommy. Dave keeps on trying to be the band daddy.
So...
Band daddy.
What
Who's
are-
a band daddy?
Who are the...
Who's a big band daddy?
So the other members in the
You know it's
band,
gonna
what does
stick
that
now.
leave them? Your children?
Videotaping.
Okay.
Oh,
Fair
let me
enough.
tell you what it looks like when mommy and daddy fight.
Need some
Mommy and daddy wrestle.
fluff paradox for
That's
that.
what you want to call it. Oh, there's no paradox. Just a lot of fluff.
Woo!
All right. Well, we have the wonderful Jezebel with us as well here to talk about.
Why am I
some-
waving? They can't see
I
me.
don't know.
Everybody does
Hey, I'll wave back.
This week's episode is brought in full Technicolor in 3D thanks to IMAX microphones.
We're in the
IMAX
future.
microphone.
Put
But,
on your
uh,
3D glasses
You have some sideshow stuff coming up too.
I usually do.
You usually
Yeah,
do.
I'm a busy
What do you
guy.
have going on?
Well, Saturday, these guys I know are playing at a venue called Kubi Bear.
Yes. What an awesome band.
No, I'm gonna.
I heard there's a lot of Foo Fighter covers happening.
Yeah.
Sort of. Monkey Wrench 8 times. That's the Batman theme song. That's the same song. Listen to it.
So I'm gonna go hang out and watch PA over at Cubby Bear, and then walk over to Playground Theater on Halsted for the it's called Peep Show. It's by Bim Bam Burley. It's a pretty burlesque troupe kind of organization thing. I've never performed with them before at this particular event.
Are they prepared for you?
Yes, because I did their nerdlesque theme. They know that I do come out as a Ninja Turtle with a grinder. So this time it's going to be more... They classified it as sensual sideshow, which...
Ninja Turtle with a grinder is the name of my solo album.
That's what I heard what your dick is called. But I learned how to, since last time I was here, how to do glass walking. So I'm going to do that. And then there's a 2-set. It's a BYOB also. I was going to let you guys know, but apparently you guys are going to be watching the rest of the show over at Cubby Bear. So I get to enjoy performing without the heckles of you guys. So thank you.
After party location.
Yeah. It starts at 12. It's a $20 cover. I think it's 18 and over, BYOB, so bring your own alcohol and shit. And first act I'm going to do is glass walking. Second routine is grinder. I think it's going to go from like 12 till 1 or 1:30 or something like that. And then the following weekend, me and David are performing up in Augusta, Michigan for their medieval fair. It's kind of like Bristol's stepson kind of event. I was there for opening weekend. It was so cool, fucking fantastic. They don't see the likes of us Chicago sideshow folks down there. So they were very amazed and it was awesome. So we're going to be there for closing weekend. And then in August was freaking busy. August 11th, David and I are also going to be roaming performers at the Lagunitas Beer Circus, which is in the city, and they pay us in beer, which is awesome. Legitimately. Yeah, so just a bunch of other stuff coming up, but I just updated my website, Jezebel.com. Check it out. Doing a lot of stuff with Sinister Fate as well. But yeah, that's it. So far. Yeah.
She also, out of the kindness of her heart, has ran our merch table since this band started. And so if you want to see the hottest merch girl in the Chicagoland area, the Tri-County area, goddammit, in America, come up to Cubby Bear and then go stalk her all the way over.
And then point and be like, lies! Table of lies.
What would your wife say?
Yeah, dude, you're in trouble now.
My wife's not a merch girl, so she doesn't have to worry about it.
Oh, now you're gonna blame her for that. You're gonna make her feel bad for that
I said
too.
sexiest merch girl. All right, whatever. I'm done. You're trying to lawyer your way out of this.
Seriously?
If she's pregnant, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was
Not
nice knowing
Jezebel.
you guys. It was nice knowing you guys. If everyone wants to So if there's any bass players out there, we'll be auditioning bass players. One stipulation: you have to sweat equally as much as Ryan. Let's say 85% as much, because I don't want to set the bar too high. And if you're nervous about playing bass, don't be, because no one listens to what we do anyway.
That's true. It's just bass. I could do it.
I actually don't even play in key anymore. I just kind of slap the strings and drink, and nobody notices. So come on now, take my place.
I actually kind of thought that's what you did the whole time.
Ooh.
Is that a burn? I don't know music.
Well, this sounds like a great transition into the song of Bad Decision called "We Had Fun."
Yeah. Boom, boom.
Here's another Proudest Angel track.
It's revealed on YouTube.
Well, I tried to fill this hole for years.
Hi, this is Tony,
Ari.
Q, and Pat. We are Caduce, and you're listening to The Metal Experience.
All right. Well, we had fun. That was another Proudest Angel track. I'm Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze. Still chilling here with Jezebel and Proudest Angel. Charlie.
That's a new band name, guys.
Yeah. Jezebel and Proudest Angels.
Jezebel and the Proudest Angels.
Coming to a venue near you. Yeah. Chuckling Charlie left. Brett has exited the building too. And
So now they're stuck with us.
So now we're ready for more fun.
The doors are locked. The
Listening to
lights
me
are
talk
off.
and Luco interrupting me. That's our
So
thing.
sweaty.
So just a few announcements for this week before we get into the next week.
When the sweat gets in your mouth, it's too late.
Oh.
Okay, well, that better not be happening because that'd be weird.
It's the
Well,
droplets you got to worry about.
Morgan, then it's too late.
All right. Well, August 4th, Wings of Severance is going to be playing the Casey's Cabin with A Silent Truth, Atlanta is Burning, and more, maybe? Question
And
mark?
more?
And that is going to be $7 and starts at 7:30. I think it's 21 and up. But before that,
Where's it at?
this weekend on Saturday, they are playing the Mutiny in Chicago, which usually shows are
The
there for
Mutiny
free.
is 21 and up.
8 p.m., 21 and up. They're playing with Oceans Beneath Us, Arabella, From These Ruins, and Sharys. I don't know how they want to say
How
that.
do you spell it?
Sharys.
The Y S is
Sharys?
silent.
I guess so.
Oh, the S.
Probably.
The S is silent.
Probably. We're just going to go with
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say, so is Harry?
I guess. Don't forget to pick up the new What pre-order album for Goddamn Waste.
The W is silent.
What?
So it's just it's actually called Woot.
Yeah.
Woot?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Exactly.
Because it's got the two little dots above the
Sounds
U.
a boot, right?
Hey, Bill, what sound does a goth duck make?
Our friends in Alter
Walk.
Perceptions are going on tour with Face Your Maker and God of Nothing and a couple other bands. Raw Dog looks like it's
Raw Dog.
one of them on
Fucking
select
Raw
dates.
Dog,
I
Fucking
can't read the
Raw
other two
Dog.
All of
names.
their songs are about
But that's
Ryan.
happening September 27th through November 3rd. Check out the dates on their Facebook page. On my 6, Orinoco So-Called Saints,
And
Viva
Raw
Rum
Dog.
are playing.
What'd you say, Fevero?
Vivo Rum.
Viva
Rum. Viva Rum. Viva Rum.
You might have heard it if you
8
weren't
p.m.
talking over her.
in
Sorry.
McChesney Park in Illinois. Thank you, Ryan. Because
You're
that
welcome.
happens. That's happening.
It was the doctor.
Sorry, I couldn't see. I assume it was Ryan putting order to things.
Because he's a firefighter. He thought he would
Yeah,
stand up for her.
exactly.
No, I'm in
Friday,
charge. I'm in
July
charge.
27th.
Band mom.
Check that out.
Mom.
Yeah, that's how I am. Also, check out coming up on
Keyword coming.
a lot of that. August 7th, which is the Tuesday that we're not going to be doing a show. Paulo of Trivium and Shauna of Repentance are going to be doing the DJ night at the Metal Shop in Chicago, hosted by DJ Nick Fury. So you can win tickets to Demu Borgir, Scorched Tundra, Wolfhammer, Power Glove, Dope Throne, and many more from 9 p.m. to 2
Are they
a.m.
going to have tickets to the Slaughter and autograph show?
Oh, man.
That is not on here. You can request it. Our friends.
Can you put in a request real quick
Stop
for Ryan?
talking.
He would
Our-
like tickets
stop
to the
talking.
Slaughter
Can you guys,
and autograph
can you guys
show.
bring Slaughter and Autograph onto your show?
I can't. I'm sorry. Programmable Animal is going on tour August 12th through September 26th. They are playing our venue out here, The Forge, with Head PE in Joliet, September 26th. They start in Evansville, Indiana, August 12th. So there's dates in between, and then there's also a Chicago date with Electronic Saviors at Livewire. So be sure to follow their page for more updates. The Unlawful are releasing new music July 27th. That's Friday. So be sure to watch their Facebook page for that information. And next week on our show, our hardcore friends in Through and Through are going to be coming through to discuss their upcoming tour, maybe show us those
Our
6
hardcore
sandals
friends.
that they made, and talk more about new music and
Hardcore
I
sandals.
think since we've seen them, they played Mexico. That's pretty cool. So be sure to come
Mexico?
out and hang out with us at Fist of Spirit Keys in Elmhurst next week to hang out with Through and Through. Victims has a brand new song up on their website. The link is in the bio of their Instagram and Facebook for Status, and that features Frankie Palmieri.
Oh, the dude
Doesn't
from
say-
Amur?
Yeah. And then
You boys like Mexico!
Be sure to check out the Forms They Take CD release show August 4th at Livewire Lounge, 8 p.m. with No Conviction, Saluna, and Air Raid. Right, Luco? Right, Luco?
I don't
You're
know.
releasing a CD. It's called Volume 1, your EP.
I don't know.
You work super hard on it.
Ooh, tell us more about your band.
Nah.
Damn it.
Maybe off air.
We're mediocre at best. I'm like, you guys ready for the most mediocre music you'll ever hear?
Hey, I'll fight you for the most mediocre
Yeah.
music you'll ever hear.
And
But not that hard.
That is all I got. And then you guys have some shows coming up too.
A show.
We have
show.
what could potentially be our last show of the year, barring someone pulling us out for a New Year's Eve Festivus. So, Cubby Bear, this Saturday, July 28th, could be your last chance to see Proudest Angel
Say it's not so.
in 2018.
No.
It's true, and it's sad, and it's wonderful, and you should all be out there. Coming after that, we're going to go hide in my basement to record the follow-up to the soundtrack to Your Next Bad Decision. We also have a couple...
You calling it Walk of Shame?
No, that's going to be the remix album.
for that.
Oh, yeah, the remix.
And so in the meantime,
Proudest Angel, get tested.
while we're doing that, we mentioned earlier that, stay woke, that we're going to be having some cartoons coming out, some demo material, some unheard live stuff. We shot it a while ago. We haven't put it out yet. But there is potential for a web series called Riding in Cars with Angels, where we are going to drive around with people in bands and ask them questions and go to bars and get drunk.
That is pretty clever.
So
I like
if
that a lot.
if any bands out there anywhere in the world want to come drive around with us, get drunk and talk about
I nominate
stupid
Sinister Fate.
shit.
And then and then follow up is possibly you're going to end up getting into a bunch of fights and getting banned.
Your salad will get tossed.
Banned from a bunch of bars, which we'll never be able to get into again.
But they won't be good bars. There'll be places like Sidekicks.
Dirty Sidekicks.
Yeah.
Dirty sidekicks.
You guys can
There
go to
are
the
better
parking lot of
5 a.m.
sidekicks.
karaoke bars.
So the best thing we could say is come out this Saturday and have the party of the year with us for Embrace the Foo. We will be playing with a bunch of other original bands, also doing covers and tributes to Foo Fighters. But we are all opening for Smells Like Nirvana, the premier Midwest Nirvana tribute act in the Midwest premiership.
I'm kind of hoping they don't smell like Nirvana, because I just imagine that's not fun.
Teen Spirit wasn't that good either, but you know.
So come out,
We
get
gotta
drunk in
pick and
Wrigleyville,
choose.
and do the thing.
Drunk
that
in
we do.
Wrigleyville?
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Who does that?
Woo, woo.
Go check us out on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
If you do go to proudestangel.com to get your
YouTube.
tickets to said show, you can also get a free download of the cover you heard earlier, which is Wicked Game, our cover of Chris Isaac's #1 hit tune.
Ooh.
He wants to follow.
This is new information to Bill, by the way.
And Dave.
And Dave. Oh.
I'm surprised they even got here on time today.
Ryan making split decisions.
Yeah, right. Band mom.
And we're ending the night with another cover for
But
you guys.
real
to
quick,
hear.
you guys you said you had a couple music videos too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have lyric videos for every song off the album except for Starlight and for Reasons, this cover you're about to hear. And there are music videos for Civilly Feral and We Had Fun. And the lyric video for Shoulda Known Better is an animated lyric video. So it's all cartoony and fun and awesome. And P the Politician, nationally renowned hip-hop critic, featured our video on his show. And if you go to P the Politician's Facebook page, look through his videos, you can find his very positive review of Shoulda Known Better on a hip-hop centric show. And the comment section is glorious.
My favorite part of that review was the song finishes, and like P the Politician has like a sidekick, and P the Politician immediately pushes to the sidekick and goes, "So, what did you think about that?" He goes, "I don't know." It was really nice seeing them give a shot to something totally outside of their normal genre. It was a lot of fun.
The good old days.
So this next song is a Lady Gaga cover called "I Like It Rough." It's it sounds to be about bad relationships and bad decisions and possibly
and
chlamydia.
Very important. Bill does not change the gender of the lyrics.
Oh, why would you do that?
So please,
what kind of an animal would do that?
Bill commits to the what was written on the page.
The band that I was in previously, Sutured Psyche, which is no longer a thing, would oftentimes do a cover of Alanis Morissette's "You Ought to Know," and I took
as well as Katy Perry's Teenage Dream.
Teenage Dream, and I had a point of pride that I would always introduce "You Ought to Know" with. This song goes out to everybody in the audience who's ever blown a member of Full House. Want us no friends.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Wait, who blew a member of Full House?
Alanis Morissette. That song is about Dave Coulier.
Oh yeah.
You Ought to Know is about Dave Coulier.
Really?
Yes.
Uncle Joey.
How do you not know that?
Cut it out.
I didn't know
She's
that.
got a song about
cut it out.
going
What
down
was
on
it?
in the theater.
What was the hand motion for it?
I think it pointed at you. I know it knows what it is. Cut it out. I think
That's
weird.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
So it.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Just
like too legit, too quick.
You know, those of you who know what it is, feel free to submit your videos to the
Send
Metal
us your
Experience
sign
Facebook
language.
page and show us what the cut it out hairdresser is.
And for the rest of you, enjoy this this butchering of a Lady Gaga song.
What a fabulous song to end our episode
so
with.
good.
Thank you for the entertainment to Proudest Angel. You, this is one of the first shows where I really didn't know what to say through half of it because I don't know how to come back from some of the stuff you said. In a good way. In a good way. It made it for even more entertaining of like, what the fuck just happened?
This is
I
Stockholm
liked
Syndrome.
it. We could do this more. I know. I might be traumatized for life.
And a little bit in love.
Won't. It could be. Could be. We'll find out.
Heroin in the water.
God, I hope not. Okay. Well, good night. Here is I Like It Rough, originally by Lady Gaga, now by Proudest Angel.
Thanks for putting up with us.